Hey, today we're going to be taking a look at DeepSource.io. This is a company that has made a code review tool. It's really quite cool. I've taken a look a little bit already, but we're going to go ahead and look at a repo that I haven't added yet and show you guys the process and what's cool about it. So we're going to go ahead and add. I did a Masonite backend repo earlier, but we're going to go take a look at something else. Let's take a look at like let's take a look at maybe like React front end. We got, you know what? Actually, we already have this one added, so we're just going to take a look at this MS Paint one. This was something I did with a hackathon with a friend. It was really cool. Let's go ahead and dive in. So we've already set it up. Whenever you go in, I'll just go ahead and show you guys. Whenever you set up something, so this is like a React front end here, you can add an analyzer. You can add a thing here, and then if you have like a framework here, like this one was built with React, then you'd select it. It takes a minute, so we're just going to skip that, go straight into this. So here are the different issues that this app has flagged. So here we have a preferred ternary operator. This is a pattern thing. So we have, okay, now this is kind of interesting. So here we have a setup for, this is just basic annoying React things where you have to make sure that you have your state and it is loaded properly, or else you have to load some sort of loading thing. So it said we could have preferred a ternary operator here. That would be a thing we could do. I would argue that here it makes perfect sense to use an else statement, but it's a cool thing because if your code is riddled with else statements, then yeah, you could spend some time and actually just sit and bang out a quick ternary operator, since you don't need to have if-else statements everywhere because they're a little ugly. Here, the if statement is the main block of code, and so a ternary operator might make it a little harder, though we could actually take this and maybe put it into its own component or something like that and render it that way. That way we can just do a ternary operator and just return the component, or a different component, or a loading component or something. However, that's a cool thing. Let's keep looking at the different issues. So, prevent wrong usage of DOM property. Let's see what it doesn't like here. Okay, cool. So this was us adding classes just in order to make sure that we have some basic stuff. We were using I'm not sure what Sarah ended up using for these different things, but we're using class here, not class name. This is a React no-no. And we got a couple pages of this. So this is awesome. This prevents little weird errors from popping up and things like that, and this is really great. That way you can get these things to handle without having to go through or send them to your senior engineer or anything like that. Absolutely wonderful. Found usage of undeclared variables. Okay, this looks like it's probably something in the framework itself. I don't think this is code either of us wrote. Like I said, I ran into this with the Masonite framework. Again, this isn't as... Masonite's not quite as popular as React, obviously, but there is definitely a lot of code that is not going to be reviewed by you unless you're working for Masonite or you're working for Facebook and working on React. So these kinds of things might be interesting to update as they go, just in terms of ignoring them. However, it's also cool to see for open source projects. It's also something you might be able to come up with a fix for. Great way to build some experience or get some familiarity with the framework. Okay, should not have unused variables. Props is defined but never used. Yeah, so this is just the use of like some boilerplate. This is a little map function I wrote. I added an index because I thought I might need it. Didn't end up needing it because we just returned the ID from the MongoDB. Yeah, this is really great. So this is just a great way to clean up code, make it more accessible, make it more readable. Prefer meaningful alt text. Yep, there's no alt prop here, so that would definitely be an issue. All in all, I think this is an absolutely wonderful tool, and I think it's something you guys should definitely check out. Bye.